Today we are going to discuss one of the basic, the fundamental and the very essential grammar element, that's the tenses.
Yeah.
See, it is such a wonderful element. See, all of us enjoy the past, nostalgic moments. If nostalgia is like a grammar, see, it's only if nostalgia is a grammar, I think you find present. Tense. Okay. If nostalgia is a grammar, present the tense. And always we recollect. Future is, can we say indefinite?
Prahallada sir, 1 minute sir, 1 minute.
Grammar,
Prahallada sir,
nostalgia, exactly.
Prahallada sir, just a minute.
In particular, when we speak of tense, yes, we need to keep this
meeting
present, the tense, past, a perfect thing that we feel always, and future, we know it. It's uncertain. It's indefinite. Now,
you should not come.
sir, any issue? Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello. ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ದ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರ.
Hello.
Prahallada sir, 1 minute. Prahallada sir, 1 minute. They all children. Children, please mute your speaker. Mute your speaker, children. You are coming.
ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು.
Disconnect your connection. They mute your speaker. All of you mute speaker. Sir is teaching in between. You are also talking. घर में कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो वो हम सुनना चाहिए. All of you mute your speaker.
Hello.
Mute your speaker. Kindly mute your speaker. Those who are not muting your speaker, we are going to disconnect. Okay, sir, please carry on, sir. Please, sir.
Prahallada sir, continue sir.
Ramji, still some children Lakshmi बोल के she is not muting your speaker.
Yes.
Disconnect here.
Hello, sir. Sir, sir, shall I continue? Continue, sir. Okay. 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 Now, we'll continue. That's it. So, grammar is one such thing. We always compare with the nostalgic experience. So, how in life, present, we are always tensed. And in fact, that is the very, very short period of time that we have. And past, this is a bygone period that we relish, we enjoy. See, this is what I would like to draw things. The present, what we have here, is very, very, very little. And the future is infinite. We do not know. And past, this is a big ocean. So, as such, we live in a present very, very, very little while. But this is the most important period for us. This is the period. In present, we have to live. This is the time that we have to live. Why am I speaking of present time when we are discussing with the tense? Yes, that's what is very much required. So, we should not confuse with tense and time. Okay. Totally, you should have this. Most of you know the tenses. But then why still we go wrong here and there? Now and then we get into confusion. Because we always try to mix up tense and time. So tense and time are totally different elements, you know. Tense is purely a grammatical element. Whereas time is, it's a perception of reality. So time is perception of reality, tense is grammatical structural element, which is marked by a verb. We are trying to combine together. So to make it very clear, I am going to show you that tense, how it can be grammatically a different issue than time. You are using it in present tense, but you can talk of future time. You can use future tense, but you can present different thing. So, for example, you see this. He will complete his work today. He will complete his work today. Now see, here will clearly shows he will complete. That's a future tense. But we are speaking of future present time. Today is present. But which tense do you consider? Normally when we see today, immediately we say present. But that thing should not happen. Now for example, see another. Ramesh will go to Bangalore, will send it to Mysore today. So here also we have used future tense, but we are speaking of present time. Now the same thing also can be taken here. Now you see here. I am going to Delhi. I am going to Delhi tomorrow. I am going to Delhi tomorrow. What tense is this? this is am. So that's a present tense. Going, present continuous tense. But we are speaking of future time. So here, present continuous tense. Work should go on. Work must be going on. But we are speaking of future time. So with this, we understand that tense and time are totally two different elements. You should not get confused with time and tense. So once you are clear with these things, now all other tenses would become simply so easy. So now let us see one by one tenses. So all of you are quite familiar. There are three kinds of tenses. Okay. What do you mean by tense? Tense literally, it means it's only time. Tense literally, it means time only. But I was telling that time and tenses are different. But let us keep tense as a grammatical element and time as a perceptual reality. Okay. So, another most important thing you must remember is tense is always known with its verb. So, there's a verb form that indicates tense. So, now let us understand one more thing. For example, he is going to Bangalore. Another, he will be going to Bangalore. Okay. In these two sentences, here also going is there. Here also going is there. See, another sentence. He went to Bangalore. Okay. He went to Bangalore. The three sentences, if you see here, first sentence is going. Is an auxiliary verb, going is a main verb. He will be going. Will and be are auxiliary verbs and going is main verb. But here there is went. So if you see here, there is only main verb. There is no auxiliary verb. So why I am emphasizing this? In a sentence, if there are main verb and auxiliary verb together, if both are there, you should identify the tense only with the help of auxiliary verb. See here, is there, this is present tense. Going, a progressive verb. Here will is there, so this is future tense. Here again, going is there, progressive tense. In both the cases, progressive. So how do you say that? Which tense is this? That's why you should see auxiliary verb. Only with the help of an auxiliary verb, you should be able to identify the tense form. Now, if you see this sentence, he went to Bangalore. Here, we don't have any auxiliary verb. Went is the main verb. Went is the second form of go. So naturally, it is past tense. So this is the second point you must remember. First thing is, you should not get confused with the time and tense. And when there are main verb and auxiliary verb together, you should identify auxiliary verb, and you should, based on the auxiliary verb, you should identify the tense. And when there are both, when there is only one main verb alone, then you should go with the main verb. Now let us quickly get into tenses one by one. We have present tense, we have future tense. Okay. Present tense, how many types are there? So present tense. So in present we have present simple. What is another name for present simple? Present indefinite also we call. Okay. Then we have present continuous. Okay. Then we have present perfect. Then we have present perfect continuous. So in all the four forms, present simple, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. The same way, past simple, past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous, and future also we have same thing. Now, all of you know the tense because you have been studying tense since so many years. You are quite familiar. What you have to familiarize yourself and what I am trying to do is, I am trying to lay it thicker. You should know when you should use what tense. If you are able to do that, if you are able to master yourself in knowing when to use what tense, I think you can achieve mastery in tenses very easily. Now let us go one by one. Present simple tense. Present simple tense is very simple. See, I will give one example. He rings the bell. Okay? He rings the bell. Raman is a tall boy. Raman is a tall boy. Flower is beautiful. Okay, here, just I am giving some example, just randomly pick a few sentences. He rings the bell. Rings, of course, it is there. There is no auxiliary verb here, that's why it is present tense. Raman is a tall boy. So there is no verb at all. This main verb is itself is a main verb here. Flower is beautiful. So in that case, what do these things say? He rings the bell. An action that is going to take place. Raman is a tall boy. You want to say there's a boy standing and you want to describe him. How do you say that? Can you say Raman was a tall boy? It means now has he become short? Flower is beautiful. This is window. That's fine. So, present simple tense actually expresses what actually takes place. So, present simple expresses what actually takes place. You can say that it can be used to make a statement. For example, you say, I'm a boy. She's a girl. You can't say that I was a boy. You can't say that I'll be a boy. Then what are your no questions? So any statement that you make, you have to use only present simple tense. So to make the statements, you use present simple tense. Another most important thing to use, habitual action. Habitual actions. Habitual actions are the day-to-day things that we do regularly. For example, Rajan goes to school every day. Rajan goes to school every day. It snows here It snows here in winter. Now say these two sentences. One, every day we have used. So that's a habitual action almost every day except on Sundays. But here you see, it snows here in winter. Maybe a fellow who is in Himachal Pradesh, or maybe the fellow who is in Kashmir, he speaks of the season. So every season. So habitual action, when you say, you need not say that every day or always, every minute, it goes on. As a form of habit, like if I say, I brush every day. Somebody says, no sir, I brush once in a week. If you say, that is his habit. So for habitual actions, we use present simple tense or present indefinite tense. So all habitual actions you can use it. So what is the other thing? Now, most important thing is universal truths. Universal truth. What is universal truth? That is same, that's correct, or that happens everywhere, whether it's the east or west, or day or night, everything. The most beautiful example of habitual or universal truth is the sun rises in the east. Okay. Oil floats on water. Whether you check it in America, whether you check it in India, whether you check it in Pakistan, oil floats on water. And sun rises in the east. So this is universal truth. So first one is making statements, habitual action, universal truth. Then what is the another use or when do we use? Normally, your favorite game, cricket. I am writing it here as a cricket commentary, but actually you can say narrations. For all narrations, just check it, you see, or you might have heard. From pavilion end, Suresh bowls, ball bounces, batsman drum and hits, ball reaches the boundary, Sharma catches, he's out. Did you observe the tense forms here? From pavilion end, Suresh bowls the ball bounces, batsman drum and hits, ball reaches the boundary, Sharma catches, he's out. Even if you listen to cricket commentary 100 times, even if you have been listening to cricket commentary for the last 30-40 years, you might not have heard from pavilion when Suresh is bowling, ball is bouncing, batsman Raman is hitting, ball is reaching. No. What you see, you narrate as it is. So, cricket commentary. Even in fact, story narration must be in present simple tense only. If you listen to crime stories in news items, you should see the police people so meticulously depict only the present simple tenses. They never use past tense because they narrate a story. So these are the most important things: statements, habitual actions, universal truth, cricket commentary. Now, the structure, if you see here, the structure, subject plus first form of verb plus object. Okay. Normally, subject plus first form of the verb, then object, you should have that. He goes to school. I drink milk every day. Newspaper boy brings newspaper every day. Now, you may have a doubt here. What? By chance, there is a variation in the habitual action. What tense we should use? Every day you drink coffee only, but somehow that day coffee powder is exhausted. So what tense do you want to use? You are drinking some other thing. Anyway, we are coming to that and we'll see. Anyway, I am going to tell it here also. You must be able to remember this when we are going to use another tense. When there is a sudden change in the habitual action, you must use present continuous tense to indicate a difference. For example, every day I drink coffee in the morning, but today I am drinking milk. Every day a young boy brings newspaper to me. Today, an old man is bringing. Every day she wears jeans and t-shirt. Today she is wearing sari. So when there is a deviation from the habitual action, you should use present continuous tense. Now we'll go to present continuous tense. When do we use present continuous tense? See, this is the only thing you should focus on. When you should use what tense? Present continuous tense is used to express an action in progress. An action in progress. For example, I am writing on the board. I am writing on the board. The action is in progress. For example, this is the first sentence. I am writing on the board. We are discussing English tenses. We are discussing English tenses or general sentence. Rahul is drinking coffee or drinking milk. Rahul is drinking coffee. Rahul is drinking from water bottle. So this is what? So an action that is in progress or any progressive activities that's going on in the present, those sentences can be expressed, those actions can be expressed in present continuous tense. And another most important thing these days, most often, already in the beginning I told you, it is also used to express, to indicate an immediate future, an action in immediate future. Okay, what is this? For example, see, he is booking tickets tonight. He is booking tickets tonight. Or he can, why not tonight? You can go for tomorrow also. He is booking tickets tomorrow. Now you are speaking in the afternoon and immediate future is night. So he is booking tickets tonight. He is booking tickets tomorrow. We are using present continuous tense. See, here we are speaking about the future time. So two main uses, one to indicate the action in progress, another to indicate action that would take place in immediate future. Another, already we discussed, what is that? A deviation from a habitual action, that also we do it. So now, what is the structure for present continuous tense? So structure for present continuous tense normally subject plus be form verb. Be form verb as per the number and person plus main verb. Maybe you can add ing plus object. Okay. Subject, be form verb as per the person and number. So you should be careful about whether singular, plural, or whether you should be careful about first person, second person, third person. Then main verb plus ing plus object. So this is present continuous. Example like Jalpita is watching a movie. Okay. Jalpita is subject. Is be form verb. Watching is main verb with ing. A movie is object. So Jalpita is watching movie. Now this is present continuous. And now we'll switch over to the most important and quite often we use this. Present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. When do we use present perfect tense? And here I am going to give you a clue. Those who try to translate from mother tongue tenses, don't try to do with this. Because in many of the Indian languages, we don't have perfect tenses. We have present continuous, we have past continuous. We don't have present perfect tense, even past perfect tense. That's why if you try to translate from your mother tongue, you will go wrong. Now, when do you use present perfect tense? Present perfect tense is almost a past tense. Then don't you ask a question immediately? Then why should we have this? Yes. English tense, it has differentiated very clearly, very meticulously. A marginal hairline difference has made. What is that? See, when you use past tense, an action that is already over. So we use past simple tense. But irrespective of the time, it may be 100 years ago, it may be 500 years ago, it may be even 10 minutes ago. But we use present perfect tense to indicate action that is already over, but when the action, the effect of the action still remains in your mind, remains still in the present, then we use present perfect tense. See, once again I am telling you, once an action is already over in the past, but the effect of the action is still there on your mind. Very simple thing. Have you seen Titanic movie? Yes. How many years ago it had come? Maybe more than 25 years ago, I think. Maybe you're a boy of 10 or 15 years, he might have seen the movie some 5 years ago. He might have seen the movie 5 years ago, but he might not remember anything. The impact of Titanic movie might not have been there on him. So he can simply say, I saw Titanic movie in 1950, in 1980, in 2020. Anything he can say. But a fellow like me, of 50 plus, I have seen this movie 25 years ago. I have seen this movie when 25 years ago. Surely it's a past, a remote past. But the effect of the movie still is there on my mind. I remember the hero, I remember the heroine, I remember some of the beautiful music, I remember some of the beautiful scenes in that movie. So I cannot use, I saw that movie. So only I have seen Titanic movie. I have seen a Titanic movie. Now, you went to somebody's house, they offered beautiful, delicious sweets. You and your friend went. Both of you ate sweets. After coming back, you started relishing the sweet. So, you say, I have tasted Rasagulla. I have tasted a Rasagulla in my uncle's house. Okay? See here, your friend also tasted. You also tasted. But the taste of Rasagulla that you had eaten in your uncle's house, still you remember. That's why I have tasted. Maybe your friend did not relish it, he did not like it, and he doesn't even remember what is the size of the Rasagulla, what was the color of the Rasagulla, how many they had given. Simply they gave and he ate and came back. So no impact. In that case, he can say, I ate Rasagulla in his uncle's house. Okay. So present perfect tense is used an event that is already over, but the effect of the event or effect of the action is still there on you. In such case, you can use present perfect tense. And when else? What is the other situation do we have here? They're all immediate past. Like just now we said. Instead of saying just now he went, that's right, the structure will be correct. He has gone out. I have seen him. Somehow, present perfect tense when you use, you can simply avoid all time elements, time adverbs also you can avoid it. Because it gives two meanings. One, the immediate, another is the impact that you have. So, structure is here, subject plus have or has. You know when to use have and has plus third form of verb plus object. This is the structure. Subject, either have or has, third form of verb plus object. For example, she has taken my pen. She has taken my pen. Another example, like I have purchased a car. I have purchased a car last year. Can you use it? Yes, but it doesn't make much sense or it doesn't make much difference of the time. I have purchased a car. That's enough. You can only when you are very particular about the time, you can say that I purchased a car last year. But I have purchased a car last year may not sound good. So this is the present perfect tense. Now we'll go to present perfect continuous tense. Present perfect continuous. When do you use? Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello. So, present perfect continuous tense. See, here there are three elements: present, perfect, progressive. So, you must be slightly careful. But this is also one of the easiest case when you should use present perfect continuous tense. An event sometime started in the past. Event sometime started in the past. It continues in the present also. Okay. And there are all chances that this would go into future. See, the three elements. An event, an action started sometime in the past. It is now also going on in the present. And the probability is, the most probably it would continue in the future also. What? I have been learning grammar. See, the very simple sentence. I have been learning grammar. Shall we say English grammar? Okay. I've been learning English grammar. When did I start learning English grammar? Maybe when I was in 5th standard, or maybe some 45 years ago. What about now? Yes, now also I have been learning, because learning is a continuous process for a teacher. Okay, now do I stop it now? No. I have to improve my skills. I have to enter into new horizons of grammar. So I have to continue. Certainly, even after 55 years or even after 60 years, I would be learning. So in that case, I have been learning grammar is present perfect continuous tense. Started sometime in the past, continues in the present tense also, and there's a probability that most probably it would continue in the future also. The same thing. He has been writing a novel. He has been writing a novel. He has been writing a novel. The point of time, maybe sometime in the past you have seen, he started writing maybe a few years ago. He is continued to write, and maybe after some time he may continue. Not that all through the life he will do it. That most probably it will continue in the future also. In that case, not always. So here he has been writing a novel. I have been learning grammar. These are all present perfect continuous tense. Like if you see the structures, subject plus as usual has and have and be plus verb plus ing plus object. Okay, subject plus has or have, you know when to use that. Been, this is the be form verb in all perfect tenses, present, past and future, in all perfect continuous tenses we use, and even in passive voices also we use. Then main verb plus ing plus objects. This is what I have been learning grammar. He has been writing a novel. So this is present perfect tense. So now just we'll revise quickly. Only the present tense we are able to see now with this. So present simple, when do we use? For making statements, for habitual actions, universal truths, and narrations. Okay, statements, habitual actions, universal truths, and narrations, like a commentary and such thing. Present continuous, when do we use? We use action that is in progress. This is going on. Like I gave an example, like I am writing on the board, I am teaching grammar, he is drinking milk, like that. Then present perfect tense. When do we use present perfect tense? An action is over, but the impact of the action or the effect of the action is still there on your mind. That's a present perfect tense. And present perfect continuous tense, when do we use? An action that started sometime in the past, It continues in the present also. Most probably, it may get into the future time also. In such cases, we use present perfect tenses. So now, maybe we'll be able to see one or two more tenses. The past tense. Past tense. This is very easy. Not much difference in structure between the past simple and the present simple structurally. Here, there's even definition, if you think of it or when to use it, that's also very simple. It expresses an action which occurred in a period of time in the past. Okay? It expresses an action which occurred in a period of time in the past. Past, what's the size of the past? It can be immediate past, it can be remote past. But that's what you should get into confusion with the present perfect tense and past simple. Past simple, whether it's 10 minutes ago or 10 years ago or 10,000 years ago, past simple you can use it. But if you are feeling that impact is there, still you can relish, you can recollect, you can still feel that, then better you always use present perfect tense only. Here also we have 4 tenses. Simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense. Okay, now we will see the simple past. Here we use the second form of the verb to form the simple tense. For example, the train left 20 minutes ago. The train left 20 minutes ago. Left is the second form of leave. I passed 10th class in 1980. I passed 10th class in 1980. So you are talking of an event that occurred sometime in the past. I had a cup of tea. I had a cup of tea in the morning. See here, in the morning few hours, because now evening, it is 1980, maybe some 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Here, 20 minutes ago. So in all the cases, we have used time, morning, 1980, 20 minutes ago and all. That's what. I have seen Titanic movie 20 years ago, you need not say. You need not say. So this is past tense. So past tense is used to express an action that happened, that occurred in the past. Okay. That's what, it's a remote past or immediate past. It doesn't matter. Now, past continuous tense we'll see. Past continuous tense. This is also very simple. Like past continuous. It is used to express an action going on at a point of time in the past. It is used to express an action that was going on at a point of time in the past. It is also used to express an action which continued for some time in the past also. For example, he was writing an essay. He was writing an essay last week. He was writing an essay last week. So, action at some point of time in the past that was in progress. Did you understand? An action that was in progress at some point of time in the past. That's called past continuous tense. So he was writing an essay last week. We were playing chess. We were playing chess last year at Delhi. We were playing chess last year at Delhi, maybe for a competition. So you recollect the event that was in progress in the past. Okay, so this is past continuous. He was writing an essay last week. We were playing chess last year at Delhi. And the most important one we'll see, maybe will come for your queries. Past perfect tense. Past perfect tense. Do you remember when do you use present perfect tense? Present perfect tense is used when action is over in the past, but the effect is there still in the present also. But when do we use past perfect tense? It is used to express an action completed in the distant past before another action took place. Don't get confused here. See, I'm repeating it once again. Past perfect tense is used to express an action completed in the distant past before another action took place. Let me make it still simple. When there are two events in the past, when you have to express both the events simultaneously in a same sentence. So for the first sentence, for the first event, we use past perfect tense, and the consecutive event we use past simple. Then why? Why can't we use both in past? Anyway, both are over, isn't it? Both are in past only, isn't it? Then why? So it is very simple here. In English, somehow double past tense is not allowed. Double negative is not allowed. In the same way, double past tense is not allowed in a sentence. So when there are two events and when you have to express that, we use past perfect tense. For example, the most usual sentences. The bus had left the terminal. Bus had left the terminal before I reached.
Having now.
The first bus left, then you reached. Both happened when? Maybe last week when you want to go to your native place. So bus had left the terminal before I reached. Normally, see this sentence beautifully, people use it to their convenience. The patient had died before doctor arrived. The patient had died before doctor arrived. Had died, arrived. Had left, reached. Had left, reached. So, when there are two events in the past, for the first event, you use past perfect tense. For the consequent event, for the next event, you use past simple. Because in a sentence, we are not expected to use double past tense. So here you see here, the patient had died before the doctor arrived. So doctor is saying, if you want to play, the patient died after the doctor had arrived. Though you are using after, here had arrived you used. So the blame comes on to the doctor. So you must be careful while using these things. Yes, now some of the queries that you have, we'll quickly check through, then we'll go. Chart box syllabus. Okay. Do we have any queries or any doubts about the few tenses that we have discussed?
Yes, sir. ये गैलेक्सी कुछ है गैलेक्सी कौन है गैलेक्सी A6 प्लस गैलेक्सी A6 प्लस
Sir, in chat box, no queries are there.
Galaxy A6 plus. Who is Galaxy A6 plus? Please ask.
Hello, sir.
Galaxy A6 plus.
A6.
Galaxy A6 plus.
Raise
the hand.
Kindly ask, sir.
Is Galaxy A6 plus.
Yeah, this much time it will take. Yes. Like this only in Goa, it used to sit near to you. When the people come, they used to sit, it was sitting to you.
We'll go for just at least past tense. We can past perfect continuous.
This is communication. I said, on my computer and your computer.
So we'll see past perfect continuous tense also that will wind up.
Oh, would.
Past perfect continuous tense. This past perfect continuous tense is used to describe an action that had begun in the past and was continuing up to a point of time in the past. Like how we describe the present perfect continuous. Continued, started in the past, continues up to present, and it continues in the future also. But here, past perfect continuous tense is an action started or action began sometime in the past and continued up to a point of time in the past only. For example, see, the students had been writing their assignments. Students had been writing their assignments. Maybe you can add it for 4 days. The students had been writing their assignments for 4 days. So, action started in the past and it continued up to a point of time in the past. Maybe first day they started and fourth day they completed. So, here, subject plus had plus be form of being plus main verb plus ing plus object. Okay. Subject plus had. Here you have no confusion now using two like has or have. For all singular, plural, third person, second person, first person, for all had only. A be form of be, main verb plus ing plus object. So, out of the 3 main sentences, we have seen present 4 tenses and in past 4 tenses. That is simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous tenses. Sir, shall we continue, sir?
Sir, all right, sir. Any doubt from children? No one is coming up.
No doubts are asked, sir.
Okay, sir. 1 hour is all right, sir. Then next
Hello,
class, let us see. What do you feel, sir? It's over. If it is over from your side, you stop it, please.
One more area is there, sir. That's future tense.
Kindly, sir. Kindly complete it then. Kindly, we can complete it, sir. Sir, is it possible to continue then? You complete that area also.
Hello.
Sir, if possible, can you complete that? Not audible.
Okay, sir. We'll complete it, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
maybe
sir.
it may take 10 minutes more.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Please.
Now we'll go to future simple. Future simple. When do we use? The future tenses express action that are yet to take place, that are going to take place, or that takes place in future. Of course, here also in future tense also we have 4 subkinds: simple future, future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous tense. So now simple future, when do we use? It is used to express an action that's going to take place. So it is used to express an action in future, simple. Like say, my father will meet you. My father will meet you. You are telling to one of your friends, my father will meet you tomorrow. So you can add it. My father will meet you tomorrow. Now, here only one thing you should be careful about. If you want to indicate only futurity, for first person, you should use shall. For all other persons, you can and you should use will. For example, I shall buy a new dress. I shall buy a new dress for festival. Okay, I shall buy a new dress for festival. Whereas if you use third person, then he will buy. Now, when you deal with the models, model auxiliaries, things are slightly different. Shall can also be used with the first person. Will can also be used with the first person. Here, this aspect you should not forget that. If you are dealing with the tense, if you want to indicate only the futurity, only with the first person, you should use shall. With the rest of the person, will. Of course, when you are dealing with modal auxiliaries, that we can do it later. So here it's also simple. Subject, shall or will, plus first form of verb, plus object. See, now this is what you should be very careful. In present simple tense also we used first form of the verb. In future simple tense also we are using first form of the verb. But in present simple tense we did not use any auxiliary like shall or will. But in future simple tense we are using shall or will. In fact, verbs wise, if we speak, there are only two. There are no future verbs. Like present tense verbs we have, past tense verbs you have. And for all perfect tenses, third form of the verb you have. But there is no future form of the verb. Only by adding these auxiliary verbs, shall or will, we use future. Now, we'll quickly get into future continuous tense. Future continuous tense. Okay. This is like a wonderful imagination you should have. An action that is going on. You are imagining an action that will be going on at some time in the future. Like best example, like luckily or unluckily this time you don't have vacation and the whole thing is vacation, but still you can't go. But if it is a normal case, you'd be telling to your friend sitting in a classroom, next week we'll be going to Kashmir. Next week we'll be playing a cricket match. We'll be roaming in New York City. So these are the things, it's your imagination. So an event or an action that will be going on at some time in the future, that is present continuous tense. For example, here I shall be swimming in the river. I shall be swimming in the river next week. Okay. So you are just telling your friend, how you'd be enjoying your swimming. They will be completing their project. They will be completing their project. See here also, whether simple or continuous, you should forget this. For first person, you must use shall, and for all other persons, you should use will. So here, structure, if you see, subject, shall or will, plus be form verb, plus main verb, plus ing, plus object. So they will be completing their project. I shall be swimming in the river next week. I'll be buying new dresses for festival. So this is a future continuous tense. Then future perfect tense. Future perfect tense. When do you use future perfect? See, it is used to express an action that will have been completed at some point in the future. Like how present perfect you use, how past perfect you have used. Here also, it's a question of imagination. An action that will have been completed at some point in the future. Did you understand? For example, you would be telling, like all conditional clauses we use, if I were there, I would have completed. I will have completed. Like how in conditional clauses, yes, it's only an imaginary situation. An action that will have been completed, at some point in the future. Like example, I shall have purchased a car. They will have completed their work. They will have completed their work. So here also it's a simple thing, subject plus shall or will, but for all the things only have. Only in present tense that difference comes, have and has. But in all other things, like all past perfect tenses, you use only had, irrespective of the number and the person. In future tense also, irrespective of the number and person, you use only have. He will, has, we never use it. Then main verb plus ing plus object. Okay. He shall have, they will have completed their work. I shall have purchased a car. They will have seen the movie. They will have entered into their house and such things. And last tense, we'll see future perfect continuous tense. Of course, future perfect continuous tenses, you need a very good imagination and future perfect continuous. So this future perfect continuous tense is used to express an action or an action that is expected to continue up to a point of time in future. See once again, an action that is expected to continue up to a point of time in future. Like a present perfect continuous started sometime in the past and continue in the future, present, and it is expected to continue in the future also in the same way. In your imagination, you think that future perfect continuous tense is used to express the actions that are expected, actions or the events that are expected to continue up to a point of time in the future. For example, very simple sentence we'll see. When I turn 60 years, I will have been teaching. I will have been teaching grammar. When I turn 60, I will have been teaching English grammar. You can add maybe for 35 years, maybe for 37 years or so. Okay, it means what? I'm imagining in future, I will have been teaching English grammar, I will have been learning dance, I will have been so many things. So future perfect continuous tense is used to express actions that are expected to continue up to a point of time in the future. So here the subject plus have, will or shall, plus have, plus be, plus main verb, plus ing, plus object. Okay. So when I turn 60, I will have been teaching grammar for 37 years. When Corona ends, I'll have been going and shopping a great deal. So these are the things we use. So the most important thing here is you should know when to use. Then automatically structures comes. So once again, if any of the audience have any queries, you can come forward. You can place your queries in your chat boxes. Okay, in that case, I would like to extend a great gratitude to Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti and Vidyalaya Bangalore for having given me this opportunity to interact and share with you a little knowledge of tenses that I have. So I convey my thanks to all for your patient listening. And I regret for a technical hitch that we had in the beginning. Thank you.
Anyway, Prahallada sir, on behalf of all the children, I place my thanks to you. Okay. Children, next time, you see, now today tenses over, and sir is going to handle the classes on different areas. I think on 1st August, he will be teaching on determiners. Then 5th August, voices. 11th August, models. Then 25th August, reported speech. So 4 more sessions are there. Sir will be handling. So kindly, whenever you come and join the classes, take care on your speaker. You mute your speaker and listen to sir. Whenever there is some doubt, you unmute and ask your questions. Especially now, after the completion of the class, you can make use of the chat box. If not, you unmute your speaker and talk to sir. Okay. Make use of these kind of sessions. Sir is coming forward and helping all the children. Kindly make use of his classes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, sir.